What's up, nerd family? Welcome to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Fett, and it is good to have you with me in the lounge today. I'm going to turn this down here. Today we just got some exciting news, so please join me in the chat room and let's talk about this, because that's what the Poindexter Lounge is. If this is your first time to the Poindexter Lounge, the Poindexter Lounge is a place where you and me and my whole crew can get together and we can talk about the things that we love. Things like TV shows, games, movies, sci-fi, fantasy, fiction, all that stuff, and Star Wars for sure. And definitely stuff like this, where we're going to talk today about this exciting news that just broke, that Rosario Dawson has been cast as the live-action version of Ashoka Tano in The Mandalorian Season 2. Now, this was a report that I actually saw last week. I saw an article. I saw just a kind of a report that she was interested in playing the role. And, you know, as soon as I saw that, I said, that would be awesome casting. I knew right away that if they actually got Rosario Dawson to do that, that would be awesome casting. And apparently she wanted to do it. She liked the idea. She liked the thought of it. And so she I don't know who reached out to who, but whoever did, we can all be very, very thankful for it and very, very happy with the fact that now it's official. I love the fact too, because, you know, you see a lot of stuff, you know, pop up, and you don't know what's real and what's not anymore, you know? I mean, I'm just going to tell you guys right now, if you ever see any report come from we'vegotThiscovered.com, just toss it in the garbage. Just don't pay attention to it, because it is not true. And so anytime I see one of these things pop up, it's like, oh, you know, and especially something like this, where this is a major deal. Ashoka Tano in live action, you're talking about a character that we've only seen in animated form, is going to be in live action form now. Live action form? Yeah, she's going to be in live action in season 2 of The Mandalorian. And so to see that, it just gave me goosebumps. I mean, I felt this wave of just, woo, just kind of go over me like, yes, that's awesome. And then, of course, you got to check the source. And the first time I saw it, it was Screen Rant. And then I saw others, you know, you start going down the list, because I usually will go to a list of legitimate news sources. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, this is good. This is awesome. It's real. It's something that we can actually talk about. We can actually report. And so I had to put it up on our Facebook page right away, because people need to know this. You know, people need to know that this is going on. What's up, Ian? Ian says, this is so awesome. I love Dawson, and she'll do well, I think. And just a live action version is fantastic. Big smiley face. I agree with you, Ian. This is just great news. This is awesome news. And of all the people, Rosario Dawson, because I mean, she's a phenomenal actress. She does really well. And the thing is she does well in this genre. You know, she does well with nerdy stuff. If you're watching, hey, chime in on the chat room, because that's what we're doing. We're having a discussion about all this. So, I don't know if we just lost it or my laptop lost it. Hopefully I'm still broadcasting here. It's hard to tell. Oh, I went green here on my, I don't know if you guys saw that. That was weird. But no, so, you know, she does well. She was in Clerks 2. You know, she's got some ins with some of these people who do some of the stuff, and I think she's going to do fantastic. I think she's going to be great. She looks the part. I can already see her just now, just imagining her in that makeup. I can already see that she's going to do a great job. She's going to look fantastic. Now, let's talk about, you know, there are going to be people who, and understandably so, who are going to not necessarily be happy. I'm trying to look up the voice actor for Ashoka. Let's see if I can look that up real quick. Because there's a lot of people who have said that she should be the voice, and that is Maria Ashley Eckstein. And I get it, but she doesn't look the part. Like she's done tremendous as the voice of Ashley Eckstein, has done awesome as the voice of Ahsoka Tano. Obviously, it's because of her that we have this character. So let's not downplay that. But does she look the part? I don't know that she looks the part. She's very pretty actually. She's blonde. She's definitely my type. If you haven't been able to tell that from being around the channel, with the way Tiffany looks, she does these. She's the, I don't know if she runs her universe, but it's like a female website for like all kinds of nerdy stuff, and you can get all kinds of T-shirts and stuff like that. Tiffany got a Mara Jade shirt from there, and so she does fabulous with that stuff. I just have never understood this push. I mean, I get it because she's the voice actor, but as far as like how she looks, I've never thought that she would make a good live action version of Ahsoka because it's got a certain look to it. Rosario Dawson just has that look. She's got that kind of exotic look to her, the facial structure, all that stuff. I think is going to be great. Let's see here. Ian says, yeah, exactly my point also you just made. She does these roles well. So happy this is coming together. Yeah, I don't think it could have been a better actress. There's a lot of actresses who may have fallen into that look and everything, but I think she's got credibility in this space because, she's worked with Kevin Smith and with others and doing these kinds of movies and TV shows. And so she's got credibility already kind of in this community of us nerds. And so I think the fact that they put her into this is absolutely perfect. What's up, Marquez? What's going on, man? Good to talk to you, man. I saw your message the other day. We are doing well here in Michigan. We are safe so far from the coronavirus. We're doing well, and so we're hoping to stay that way. So we're trying to keep it kind of low key and not be out in front of too many people. But it is what it is. The Modern Warfare fanboy. Hello there, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Nice. Hello there. Very nice. What's going on, Modern Warfare? Yeah, we're sitting here talking, and I know there's a lot of people here in the chat. If you're in the chat, hey, chime in because we want to talk to you. I want to talk about what's going on and what you guys think about this casting and what you think that this might mean for the Mandalorian, right? Oh my goodness. When you think about that, what it means for the show, because when we last left off at season 1, the Mandalorian was going off looking for the child's people. So you could take that a lot of different ways. Do you mean the race of beings, the Yoda's race, or just Jedi in general? Would there be other Jedi out there? And the fact that she's going to be, that Ahsoka is going to take part in this, I want to see how Ahsoka is at play while all of this stuff was going on, I want to hear about what Ahsoka was doing during the rule of the Empire, during when Luke was coming up and going on. I want to know why wasn't she involved? Like, how didn't she get in contact with the rebels at that point? Very interesting stuff. Ian says her voice is also not terribly far off from Ashley's either. And in the broader fandom, she's been the front runner for a live action version. Yes, she has. And like I said, there's been talk about it. I saw an article just a couple of weeks ago about it. And fantastic casting. I mean, I don't think you could get any better than Rosario. And I think, whatever voice she uses, obviously she's going to try to bring in, it'll be her own. But she'll do. I'm sure she'll do something that is familiar for us fans. Marquez says Ahsoka in season 2 will blow everyone's minds. Filoni sure does know what the Star Wars fandom wants. I hope he gets to do a movie with creative freedom. It'd be interesting, man. I'll tell you what, Filoni's doing a great job. He always knocks it out of the park. This shouldn't be a surprise that he wanted to bring Ahsoka in just because of his work, obviously in Rebels and Clone Wars and everything. It's kind of a natural progression. It'll be interesting to see what all that entails, though. And also Filoni, as far as Filoni goes, I want to see him do some more live action stuff. I want to see him, cut his teeth a little bit more on The Mandalorian, because I understand where people come from where they say they're a little concerned of like what he would do with a live action thing. I think he'd be fine, but I want to see a little bit more from him. I think that people were going a little too far overboard when everybody was calling for Kathleen Kennedy's head and wanted Dave Filoni to run the whole thing. There's a difference between being really good at running, directing and writing and everything, a cartoon show, and then obviously now being very much a part of The Mandalorian and running a company, running a film corporation. That's two different things. And so when I was seeing people call for that, it's like, just because he gets a part of it doesn't mean that he's necessarily going to get all of it. But I definitely agree with you that I think that he's going to do really well. And I do hope that one day Dave Filoni does direct a Star Wars movie, because I think that he brings a lot to the table. He brings a lot of knowledge of Star Wars to the table. Caleb says, "Hey Enosh, I need some thoughts and prayers. My niece has the coronavirus." Oh man. My stepsister works at a hospital, and apparently it passed from her. She's fine. To my niece. Sorry to derail this, but this is important. Prayer is powerful, and we need it right now. Absolutely, Caleb. Hey, man. You know what? And I know that this is a Star Wars thing, but you know what, Caleb? Hey, let's do that right now. This is an important thing. This is something that's affecting everybody. It's going to affect people in some way. We're all going to end up probably knowing somebody who's affected by this. And and even you guys know Bruce, who's a part of a lot of our live streams and stuff, and Bruce Jennings, and he's concerned that he may have it. He's been running a fever and having cough and stuff, and he shared that openly. So I don't think that I'm going beyond the scope of what I should. But you know what? Hey, can we just take a minute? And you know what? If you just want to take a moment of silence, whatever you feel comfortable with. I feel comfortable with praying, but I'm a man of faith, and Caleb has voiced something here, and I don't think it's derailing at all. It's something that's important to all of us, and we can be excited about stuff, but I want to do this. So let's just take a moment. Heavenly Father, we come to you in Jesus' name, Lord, and I just pray for Caleb's niece, Lord. Who has been exposed to the coronavirus and has it, and also his sister. Lord, I pray for peace. Lord, I pray for protection. I pray for healing. Lord, we pray that you'll just be with them, God, and through this time, Lord, we pray, God, that it won't be a hard thing, Lord. We pray that they will quickly be restored and be healed in Jesus' name, and that they will be back to health. And that it won't spread any further in Caleb's family. In Jesus' name, we thank you for it, God. Amen. Amen. All right. So there you go. It's a lot of times we could say, yeah, I'll pray for you. I'll pray for you. You're my thoughts and prayers. But it's important, I think, to do something about that. So here we go. Ian says, "Oh, Caleb, definitely prayers, man. My parents had it early." Oh, wow, Ian, I'm so sorry I didn't see that. I would have prayed for them, and have major health issues and came out okay. That's awesome, thankfully. So hopefully they will fare well. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Ian. That's for sure. Caleb, my prayers are with you, or with your niece and stepsister, man. This is from Marquez. We are all together in this, and we will all overcome this. The whole world must stick together now more than ever. And Caleb says, amen. Thank you. You're welcome, Caleb. Hey, man, like anybody going through this stuff, man, it's scary stuff. And I'll tell you what, it's scary all around. The way that the world is just kind of closing down around us. My son, Landon, he keeps asking me, well, Dad, what about this? What about that? What's going to happen here? What's going to happen there? And I keep telling him, like, dude, I don't know, right? Like, I really don't know, man. I can't tell you what's going to happen, right? I can't tell you what the next step is going to be, or what they're going to cancel next, or can they really do this, or can they really do that? We just don't know. It's unprecedented. None of us have ever experienced anything like this in my lifetime, anyways. And so this is definitely something different. Lehman Russ says, I know one person who will not be happy with her. Who's that? Who's that, Lehman Russ? I'm interested to hear your take on that. I'm wondering if you're talking about Ashley, who plays her voice, as we were just talking about a few minutes ago. Ian says, I live in California, and it's weird seeing it's like ghost towns in the cities. It is. And so, I mean, all we have to do really is just kind of hunker down and watch shows like this, right? And so tonight we will be live once again for Clone Wars. Campia, he hates Ahsoka. Now, I know that he hated her at first. And I'll be honest with you, when I first saw, I remember taking Landon to go see the first episodes of Clone Wars when they did it as a movie, and I remember going to the theater with him, and he was young too. I want to say he was, about 5, 6, something like that, maybe. And I remember taking him, and we sat there in the theater, and he was bored out of his mind with the whole little baby Jabba the Hutt thing. And I was not digging it. I was like, what is this? And a lot of people hated Ahsoka at first. It's really interesting to see how she has developed as a character, because a lot of people, sorry if I make a little noise on my microphone, it's itching me right here. But a lot of people really hated Ahsoka and really didn't like her character. She was kind of whiny, she was kind of needy. A lot of people said the same things about Ahsoka. If you go back and you look at some of the old comments, and there's videos that chronicle that, if you go back and look at some of those videos, a lot of people said the same things about Rey that they said about her. Stuff comes too easy for her. She's a Mary Sue. She's this and that. And so people really didn't like her, but she really transcended that over the course of the Clone Wars. And as the writing got better, people really started identifying with her and really started to enjoy her character. And now we love her. I mean, I love her character. Her character is amazing now. And then how we finished up, the last little bit, seeing her in Rebels and seeing the woman she'd become and all that stuff, it's just phenomenal. And I think that's the last thing that I had seen of Campia say, that he was kind of in that camp where he was one of those people who didn't really care for Ahsoka during all that other stuff. But that he ended up now liking her. I could be wrong. I can't speak for John Campia, nor would I ever hope to or want to. But there's some people who just don't like characters, for one reason or another, and we can't even explain it. There's just people who just don't like stuff, and we don't know why. I had some guy go off on me a couple of days ago just because apparently he doesn't like the channel. He doesn't like me. I've never done anything to him. The guy is literally a friend of mine on Facebook, and he's in a group that I'm a part of, and he just started going off on me, telling me that he doesn't like the fact that I promote the channel in the group that I'm a part of. And I've been promoting the channel for years in that group, and I've been a part of that group like before he was a part of that group. And I'm very active in that group. Like, it's not like I'm just spamming the group with stuff. I take part in different things that we do. And it's just weird. But, but he's just like, he doesn't like our reactions. And obviously he's watching. So, if he's watching, hey, what's going on, man? Glad to have you here. I don't care. But some people just don't like stuff. And I don't know why, I'm glad you guys are here, though. And that's what means more to me than anything. It's like I had to tell him the other day. It's like, hey, man, if you don't like my videos, if you don't like our reactions, if you don't like our take on stuff, he hates DC. So I'm like, apparently because he was going off on DC and stuff. And I was like, okay. I don't know what to say. There's plenty of other channels out there, man. But whatever. Let's see here. Since I have to stay home for now, Marquez says, I will think of new design ideas for you guys in the next week. We'll keep you updated. Take care, all of you. That's awesome, Marquez. I look forward to seeing that, man. That'd be awesome. I'd love to see some new designs. That'd be great. Caleb says, personally, I don't know how I feel. I'm a little peeved that Ashley wasn't even considered, though she has said she wanted someone else in the role for live action, but Rosario is a great actress. Okay, now, Caleb, I'll say this. Yeah, I mean, I've seen that Ashley has said that she doesn't want to play the character live action. Nor do I think she's the right body type to play the character, so I don't, like I said, I think Ashley's beautiful. She's, I mean, when you go by type, she's my type. I mean, she's beautiful. She's a blonde. She's pretty. She's all those things. She's got a great voice. But I don't think she's the right body type for Ashoka, and I don't think that she's the right actress for Ashoka. And just because a character does something in a cartoon, just because a person does a voice, doesn't mean that person should be the live action version of that character. So I think people need to separate that. If people got a problem with this, I don't understand that problem, because, like, she's the voice, right? Mark Hamill, we haven't seen Mark Hamill as the Joker. They cast Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker. They cast Jared Leto as the Joker. They've cast Heath Ledger as the Joker since we've seen Mark Hamill as the Joker. So should we get upset about that they haven't cast him as the live action Joker? Would it be interesting to see him as the live action Joker? Maybe. But you know what? I don't even think it would be the same, because we watched The Flash, and he was the prankster, and they had the episode where he dressed up as the Joker, and it was cool as a laugh to see him. But it's not the same. There's a difference between animation and voice acting and live action, And so I don't have a problem with this. Ian says, I'm curious also because even the more negative elements of Star Wars, people are actually talking happy about this. That's good news. That's good to hear, because they need to. This is great. She looks like the character. The character has an exotic look, and I say that because we're going to get into what Caleb here says in just a second. Lehman Russ says, basically, Campia said she's director's wet fantasy. Oh, well. Ahsoka's cool. Ahsoka's awesome. I like the character. Most people like the character. If somebody's got a problem, if John Campia really has that much of a problem with it, and I'll have to look up John Campia's reaction to this casting. But if he still has a problem with Ahsoka, then that's John Campia's problem, not anybody else's, because we all really like the character, and they've written the character well, and she's a fun character now, and she's a great leader. She's a great character to watch. So I don't know. Caleb says, I've already seen racist posts on Reddit accusing Kathleen and Lucasfilm of race swapping Ahsoka and trying to minimize Ashley's contributions to Star Wars. Utter bullcrap. What? Oh my gosh. Oh man. I swear. That is just so dumb. That is so dumb. Ahsoka is not white. Guys, I am, I don't even know what to think about that, because Ahsoka is not white. She's an alien, right? And what is she? She's a, what is she? She's, I'm trying to remember what she is here. It's right on the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember it. But it's good to have the computer right here. She is... I'm trying to remember what she is. But the point... What is she? I can't see what she is. it's right there on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember what type of alien she is. And it's going to drive me nuts because I know what it is, and this is my first cup of coffee today, guys. My day started off kind of different. Somebody's going to have to help me, I guess, because I'm looking it up, and I'm not. Okay. Well, maybe one of you guys have said it already. Togruta? She's a Twi'lek. There it is. Yeah. Yeah, well, she's basically a Twi'lek. Well, they call them Twi'leks now. They used to be called Twi'leks, but apparently they've changed it to Twi'lek. All right, so here's the deal. She's not white. Just because the voice actor is white doesn't mean anything. I mean, nothing. Nothing at all. How have they tried to minimize Ashley's contributions to Star Wars? The woman has been in literally the last 3 cartoons. She's played Ahsoka in everything. They've kept her on. They've boosted the role of Ahsoka. Everybody knows who she is. Everybody loves her. That's just dumb. Anybody saying that crap is dumb. That is bull crap. You're right, Caleb. That's just stupid. To sit there and say that they're race swapping. Oh my gosh. That's just so dumb. Rosario Dawson looks like the character. She's got that exotic look to her, you know. She's much more astute for the role than if you did that. Man. Ian says that sounds kind of like a compliment. Not sure what that comment was about. If you're talking about Caleb's or somebody else's. It says, for all we know, she could dub over Rosario like Sam Witwer does for Maul. I doubt it, but it's possible. Yeah, I doubt she will too, but that'd be interesting. And I wouldn't, and as long as it looked good and you couldn't tell that it was being dubbed over, I wouldn't necessarily even be against that. But this idea that somehow that this is some racially motivated thing, that's ridiculous. We've seen Twi'leks in the past. Think about Jabba's dancer, Ula. Of course, I can remember Ula, but I can't remember that it was a Twi'lek. Just bear with me. So Ula was played by an African-American lady who has a very similar look to Rosario Dawson, right? They have that ethnic kind of look to them. It's not quite African-American, not quite white. It's kind of a mixed kind of look. I'm not really sure what Rosario Dawson is, if she's considered African-American or if she's something else. But I don't think she's African-American. I think she's something else. Here, I'm going to look that up too. I love having the computer here. Usually I don't have a computer here to look this stuff up, but we're going to go Rosario Dawson race. What is she? My computer stopped working. Gotta love it. My computer gets frozen and does stupid stuff. Anyways, if somebody wants to look that up for me, I would appreciate it. But yeah, it's stupid. Except Hamill may not be a great example. The way he emotes and does the faces when doing Joker, he could possibly pull it off. Just saying. I'm not saying he can't pull it off. I'm just saying, look, he may be able to pull it off. But here's the thing. Nobody's gotten mad that they've cast other people as the Joker. We may say, oh, it would have been cool if they would have, thought about Mark Hamill as the Joker. But nobody's like angry about it, I don't think. I mean, I haven't come across anybody that's angry that Mark Hamill hasn't played live action Joker yet. Just saying. There's all kinds of possibilities there, and like I said, I'm not saying that he'd be bad at it. Just saying I don't think we're angry. Do you think we'll get an Ezra Bridger cameo appearance in season 2? Says Marcus Powell. Marcus, that would be awesome. We all want to know what happened to Ezra Bridger, and this is perfect timing because at the end of Rebels, Sabine and Ahsoka were going off to look for Ezra Bridger, right? And that was right after Return of the Jedi, it said. I'm trying to think about how many years it said. How long after Return of the Jedi was? Was it 3 years? You'd have to go back and watch the end of Rebels again, but it gives a time period there of like how long after. It might have been 5 or 6 years even. And this is supposed to take place about 5 years after Return of the Jedi. So this could be right in the thick of them trying to find Ezra Bridger. Even if they don't see Ezra Bridger, could he come up? I would love that. Devontae Barbane said, didn't stop Titans from making Starfire black, though. LOL. And Torgart. Oh, for Ahsoka, for her race. Yeah, and you know what? I'll be honest, Devontae. I was not thrilled. It wasn't because she was black. It was because I didn't like the look of Starfire in the first season. I think what they've done with her now and kind of given her kind of more, the straight hair look and everything. Plus, it had nothing to do with her ethnicity. I just felt that they really made. I mean, if we're just going to be flat out honest, they made Starfire look like a streetwalker. They made her look like a prostitute with that outfit and the stuff that she wore. She didn't look like anything other than just that. She looked like she should be standing on a street corner with that hair and all that stuff. I just didn't like it. The way that they've changed that subsequently has been great. And the thing is, but look at Starfire too. Starfire is not necessarily white. She has an ethnic look to her as well. She's orange, first of all, so whatever orange is, you know what I mean? But she's an alien as well. She's an alien. She's orange. She has an ethnic look to her. Why would people complain if you have somebody of a different ethnicity other than white play that character? I don't get that. The only time I've ever had a problem with that is Jimmy Olsen. The guy does a fine job who plays Jimmy Olsen on Supergirl, but it's not Jimmy Olsen. It's a different character. It's a really cool character, but it's not Jimmy Olsen. Jimmy Olsen is the whitest white guy you could ever want to be. He's like the old pal and chum of Superman. He's a nerdy guy. He's the nerdiest guy in all of DC Comics. I mean, he's a red-haired, freckled, nerdy guy who wears plaid jackets and, bow ties, and he's a photographer. That's what he is. The guy playing Jimmy Olsen in in Supergirl is like the coolest, awesomest, hippest, debonair, suave, African American guy you could ever see. There's a difference. That's not the character. So you call him something else, he's fine. I don't have a problem with him being in the show or whatever. It's just he doesn't seem Jimmy Olsen. But you look at people like Lawrence Fishburne, who played Perry White in Man of Steel and the DCEU. He was phenomenal. That was one of those roles that the character, it didn't matter what race the person was playing with him as long as they played the character. And he played the character. You believe that was Perry White. He didn't have to be a white guy. You just have to be the character. That's the important part. It's called acting, Let's see, we got the Ahsoka stuff. Thank you guys for that. Hey, William, what's going on, buddy? Glad to have you in here. Ian says, and isn't like Twi'leks and others were just like humans. They come in many forms. It's ridiculous to make a race issue out of an alien character. That is, William, I agree. Ian, I agree. It's just dumb. No, you're right. She's not a Twi'lek, but I think they're related. If I'm remembering correctly, they're related racially. Like somehow I've read before. I believe that the two alien species are somehow related between Twi'leks and Torgarts. Or Torgruta. Torgruta. Yes, I know that they're a different race. I know that they are different, but I do believe that they're related somehow. I'd have to find that, but I do believe I read that before. Yes, Marcus, you're right. She's the same race as Shakti, and I love Shakti. Shakti, I thought was I would have liked to have seen more Shakti in episode 3. It's good. William 2211 says perfect casting. You're right, William. It is perfect casting. I don't know why anybody would have a problem with this. Yep, Red Brick. She is Torgruta. I wasn't saying Twi'lek for Ahsoka, just using them as an example. They've literally had every race playing them. Yep. That's the thing. And the compliment was regarding the director's wet dream comment. Yeah, right? Like, why is that a problem? Like, oh, she would do really great on this. We'd be really excited to have her. Oh, that's a negative. Really? There's just some people that were born to play certain roles. It's like Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. You know? God help the person who ever tries to play Deadpool after Ryan Reynolds. Because Ryan Reynolds was born to play that role. Just period. William says, I'm liking the quality, Enosh. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm actually, so I'm kind of just taking a lunch break today here at work. And so I like using the studio here at work, here at the church that I work at. And so it's kind of fun. Can set up something and do something like this and kind of make it a little something special for you guys. I got a little bit set up at home, but I don't have all this. And so it's kind of nice to be able to sit back and do something like this every once in a while. So thank you, William. I'm thankful that you notice when I try to do something and step something up. If we get enough Patreon subscribers, maybe one day this will be the norm, that all the videos can look like this. Caleb says, be right back. William says, in the end, does it really matter what she is as long as she puts on a good performance? And you know what? Right there, man. Right there. You said it. That's it. Acting. As long as the acting is good, who cares? It doesn't matter. It's just got to be acted well. It's just got to look good and come across good. It's got to be believable to those of us who are watching it. And that's what it boils down to, really. Wiley Henry, is that Wiley? Yeah, Wiley Henry says, Rosario looks like a grown-up Ahsoka. I absolutely agree with that. And she is an incredible actress who loves the character. And, and that's the thing, man. That is the thing right there. She looks like the character. Her face looks like the character. As soon as I saw this, and I've known that that she's kind of hinted at wanting to play this role, and I know that she likes stuff like this. She's in that nerd space, that we're all in. We talked about that at the beginning of this video. She has that look. So when I heard that, I could immediately see her in the makeup and see that she's going to do fine. She's going to look fabulous as Ahsoka. I already know that. So why anybody would not like that, I don't know. That's between them and whatever. William says, yeah, she does, Wiley. Ian says, great point regarding Joker. Stu Jersey says he played Trickster on CW. Yeah, we talked about that, Stu, just a little bit a while ago, on how they kind of, had him paint up like the Joker, but like I said, the thing is like, even with him doing that, we've still had other Jokers and nobody's been upset about it. So it's like, what is Ashley supposed to be the only person who can ever do Ahsoka, play Ahsoka ever from here on out? I mean, and because she doesn't play the live action version, that we're all going to get angry about that? Why would people be upset about that? People have different roles. They have different lanes. Ashley does a fabulous job and has established the character. It doesn't mean she should play it live action. That's just my feeling. Amelia Saman says her mother, Isabel Celeste, of Puerto Rican and Afro-Cuban descent. Now, see, that's what I was thinking. That's the look. I didn't want to say it without knowing for sure because I wasn't sure. But that's the look that she has for sure. Is a singer, and her stepfather, who raised her, Greg Dawson, of Irish descent. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I was trying to look it up, and my laptop, I'm actually supposed to take it in today, and I probably will do this after this video is done. My laptop, it does this thing where it's like it's fine for a minute, and then all of a sudden it just disconnects from the internet. And so I think I need a new, they said it needs a new airport card. And so they got to put that in. And so, because it loses Wi-Fi and it loses connection even with my wireless like mouse and stuff like that. So, so when I tried to go look it up, it went on me. But so thank you, I appreciate that. Rosario Dawson's father, Patrick Harris, is of Irish and Native American ancestry, while her mother, Isabel Celeste, is of Puerto Rican and Afro-Cuban ethnicity. Now, so is Patrick Harris her real dad, or is that her stepfather that Amelia Seaman mentioned? Because either way, obviously she's got some different looks to her. She looks like she can. I mean, she can play African American. She can play Puerto Rican. She can play South American. Those types of roles. And so Ashoka has that type of look to her. Yes, she's orange and white and all these different colors, but she's got that look. She's got an ethnic look to her, and I don't see why it would be a problem for Rosario Dawson to play it. I think she looks like her. She looks perfect for it. So Reddit can take all those complaints and go someplace else with them because you reached us too late. It just doesn't make any sense at all why somebody would complain about all that. Says this, what is it? This is a perfect way to spin off her own show. Wiley, I would be so cool with that. Now, here's the thing. Last we saw her, she was with Sabine Wren. Could we possibly see Sabine? We got the Darksaber. Just saying. Sabine has history with the Darksaber. It is now in play. We know that Ashoka was with Sabine, and they're off looking for Ezra. Like I said, I have to go back and find the timeline there of when that exactly was. But come on, guys. How awesome would that be? To actually see that in live action, I would love to see some Sabine Wren. Who would you like to see play Sabine Wren? You know who I'd like to see play Sabine is Henley. What's her name? She was on Game of Thrones, and she was also in Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles. She played Sarah Connor. I'm trying to remember who she is, what her name is. Last name is Henley. See if I can get it working here again. There we go. Yes. Who is she? Lena Headey. There it was. I knew there was an N in there somewhere. Lena Headey. Lena Headey would make a pretty good older Sabine Wren, I think, with Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano, and you make a show about those two going around looking for Ezra Bridger live action. Ooh, sign me up for another year of Disney Plus. I'll sit in my little cave and watch that forever. Who would you like to see be Sabine Wren? Caleb says, if I was casting Supergirl, I would have swapped Wynn's and Jimmy's. Yes, but I've grown to love both. Yeah, I mean, look, we've grown to appreciate what they're doing, right? But we look at it from the outside as fans, and I agree with you. Like Wynn's character seemed much more like he could have played Jimmy Olsen, and the character was much more like Jimmy Olsen than the guy who plays Jimmy. But it is what it is now. I'm also leaning towards that dubbing idea, given Ashley voiced Ahsoka in The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't necessarily be against that as long as it matches up, and that's not an issue of actually seeing that. I'd be fine with Ashley voicing that and Rosario Dawson doing it. But I also think too, like Rosario Dawson is a great actress, so she's going to bring a certain something to that role. That if she's dubbed over, you're going to miss that. You're going to get the physical, but you're not going to get the actual performance, the full performance. That would be the only thing that would keep me from wanting that is just wanting the full performance. Think we'll ever get Obi-Wan on Disney Plus? Kathleen Kennedy wasn't happy with the scripts. That's not, Marcus. That's not entirely true. They wanted to take the time and flesh out the scripts more. They had scripts, they had ideas and things in motion and things planned, but they wanted to take time to really get it right and really knock it out of the park. So yeah, Obi-Wan's coming. Obi-Wan's coming for sure. What's up, Arctic Conquest? Good to see you, buddy. So I don't think we have anything to worry about Obi-Wan. It's a little delayed because they want to work it out and want to make sure that it's really good, because that show, you guys got to remember, like, that show is going to be judged so heavily when it comes out. If that show is anything less than perfect, people are going to riot. And that's just what it is, guys. I mean, people are going to flip out if that show is not perfect. So the show's got to be good. And so if they looked at it and said, hey, you know what, we got some decent scripts here, but it needs to be better. Let's work on it. Then I'm all for it. I would rather them take the time and do something where people are going to enjoy it, they're going to like it, than to put something out there just to put something out there and then people hate it and then we have to listen to people complain about it all day long. Caleb says that hasn't been confirmed. A few of the writers dropped out and they're actively looking for replacements. Yeah. Ian says, I'm hoping Kenobi moves forward. Been waiting a long time for anything in that storyline myself. Oh, me too. And I'm excited about the fact that they're bringing back. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having such a brain fart today. I don't know what my deal is. Like I said, it's my first cup of coffee. I don't know what the deal is. Ewan McGregor. I wanted to say Ian McDermott. I don't know why. I was trying to get that out of my head. Ewan McGregor. I'm so excited that they got Ewan McGregor coming back and playing that role. It's going to be fabulous. I can't wait to see what they do with that. It's going to be great. Greg Dawson is her stepfather. Patrick Harris is her birth father. Gotcha, Caleb. Yeah, so you can see there, she's got a lot of different ethnicities mixed in there, and you can see them. You can see a little bit of that Native American, I think, if that's the case. I can see it in there. I can see, she's got a little bit of everything in there, it seems, and so that's great. That's awesome, and that puts that look together of what she has. So yeah, I don't think there's going to be a problem there. Ian Crouch says, as I said earlier, also Rosario's voice is very similar to how Ashley has done grown Ahsoka. Yeah, I don't think that that we're going to have an issue with that. I think she's going to do just fine. And by the time it's done, none of us are even going to care. We're just going to look at it as the character. We're going to see Ahsoka in live action and go, hey, that's Ahsoka. We're not anybody sitting there fine-tuning and picking it apart. Now, look, yeah, geeks and gamers may sit there and go over it and over it and over it and probably gripe and complain about the fact that she's not white and that it's not Ashley and that they're just trying to get rid of all the white people and stuff and, blah, 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 blah. And, because they got to come up with a new story every week to have some kind of negative spin towards Disney and towards Star Wars in general because, they're big Star Wars fans. Besides that, the rest of us are going to look at it and go, hey, cool, Ahsoka in live action. We're not going to pick her voice apart. Unless she comes out going, "Hi guys, I'm Ahsoka. I'm here to help. I heard you guys got looking for the dark saber, and you're the Mandalorian. Okay, cool, nice to meet you. You're Cara Dune. Cool. Who's the little guy? All right, he looks like Yoda. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I'm Ahsoka. Wink, wink. Then I'm not worried about it. So there you go. Caleb says, in before they introduce Obi-Wan's twin sister, Ori Swan Kenobi, who's twice as powerful and actually watches Luke while Obi-Wan becomes a drunkard. Oh, Caleb, I would pay, I think, to see you write that. That'd be hilarious. Nellick the Great says, actually, Geeks and Gamers were very happy with the casting. They just saw their vid. Awesome. Finally something that we can agree and that they didn't try to spin negatively. Well, it's probably because it's Dave Filoni and it has to do with The Mandalorian. They like everything The Mandalorian. I guarantee you, if this was for The Rise of Skywalker, it would have been negative. But they for some reason they separate Kathleen Kennedy and Disney from anything that has to do with The Mandalorian or Dave Filoni or now what's his name who played Happy Hogan and is the showrunner for this. I don't know how you separate it when it's all the same company and all the same people in charge, and Kathleen Kennedy still calls the shots there. But oh well, same thing. John Favreau, yes, John Favreau. That's just how I look at it. It's like if this was for The Last Jedi and they were like, if it was The Last Jedi too, let's be honest, Last Jedi or The Rise of Skywalker, and they were like, Rosario Dawson's gonna play a live-action version of Ahsoka Tano, I'd be like, oh, I don't think that's very good casting at all. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'm just being negative. I don't need to be negative. I'm glad that they like this. I'm glad that they're happy about Rosario because I'm happy about Rosario. Rosario. Let's call the whole thing off. So I'm just excited. I'm excited about this. I think that it's going to take this in just all kinds of new ways. I can't wait to see what they do with it. I would love, like I said, they could do spin-offs. We could still get an announcement about Sabine Wren because they're supposed to be together. The Darksaber's involved. Has to do with Mandalorians. Why wouldn't you see Sabine Wren, right? Oh my gosh, that'd be awesome. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited about how this is playing out and what we may see here come this fall when The Mandalorian returns. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Ian says they're just butthurt still that they made the hero female for the last trilogy. Yeah, it's done. We actually just were able to look at see The Last Jedi, or not, why do I keep calling it The Last Jedi? I'm having one of those days, folks. The Rise of Skywalker on digital, and so we're going to probably watch that this weekend again. And the trilogy's done. Let's move forward. Let's all move forward. Yeah, no, like the grade. I think you're right. I think it's a mix of a lot of things. And Caleb, I'm not crossing over your comment. I just want to come back to it. Excuse me. Nellick, I think that's how you pronounce it, Nellick the Great. He says, I'm going to be honest, Ian, I don't think it was because of that. They have legitimate reasons. They just blow it out of the water. I think it's a combination of a few things. I think it comes from a place, I think it starts at a place where it's a good thing, right? They love Luke Skywalker. They love the original trilogy. They hold it in high esteem, and so do I. That's what I grew up with. I mean, like, why wouldn't I? Luke Skywalker was my hero. But they look back on it with these rose-colored eyes, or rose-colored glasses, rose-colored eyes. There you go. Rose-colored glasses where they act like it did no wrong and that it never made a mistake and it never had an outlandish story point and it never did anything silly and all those things down the line. And the problem is that they center everything on that, and they wanted Luke Skywalker so bad to be the main protagonist of this trilogy. They wanted Han and Leia. They wanted the old crew back together to go take this, and they say that they don't. I want to rub that. They say that they don't. That's not what they wanted. That that it's just all. But after listening to them for 3 years almost talk about this stuff, people can say one thing, but you can see what's behind the speech. And it's not just geeks and gamers, it's people like this in general. They wanted so bad to see one thing that when they didn't see that, they didn't know how to react. And so they got mad. The problem now has become is now they've taken that genuine concern or anger or whatever you want to call it, and the fact that they didn't like something and it didn't turn out the way that they wanted it to be, or even the legitimate gripes. Because look, I'm not saying that the new trilogy is perfect. It's got all kinds of stuff that's messed up in it. You guys have heard my take on The Rise of Skywalker. There's all kinds of stuff messed up with The Rise of Skywalker, and that's fine. But when you take it to a place where it's like you're so bitter and angry about every little thing, and you're gonna literally pick it apart and just act like it destroyed something for you, it's not that bad. It really is not that bad. If watching a movie destroyed Star Wars for you, then I don't know that your love of Star Wars was that strong to begin with, because it shouldn't. Look, when I first saw the prequels, I remember seeing The Phantom Menace and just being like, ugh. I saw it 6 times. I kept going back to see it. I saw it 8 times in the theater altogether, but I went back the first 6 times thinking, I'm missing something here, right? It's just me. I overhyped myself. I did it to myself, and I'd keep going back, and I'm just like, what is wrong? Why am I not feeling that same feeling that I had with the original? Sorry about that. Somebody called me, folks, and if it happens again, I apologize. I'm using my phone. But the thing is I kept wanting to have that original feeling like I had with the original trilogy. All right. I couldn't get it. I didn't have that feeling anymore. So because of that, I had to realize it's not the movie's fault. The movie could be bad, right? I could be justified. I could be right in how I feel about it. But even so, it's still Star Wars. And there's going to be some Star Wars stuff that you like and some Star Wars stuff that you don't like. But you just move on and you go to the next thing and you find something that you do enjoy. And I think that that's where some of these people, they can't get over the fact that there was a Star Wars thing that they didn't enjoy. And I'm sorry they didn't enjoy it. And I can't speak for them and I can't change their mind. All I can do is talk to them about those things and say, hey, you know what? You may have a legitimate gripe, but then don't act like everything that comes out from now on is you're just gonna hate on. I don't see the point. I don't see the point in that. Nelik the Great says, yeah, you're right. Ian says, yeah, I can agree with all of that. And in truth, a lot of them didn't live through the drought, living off of the now Legends books for our only Star Wars for a long period as well. Exactly. I read all that stuff, guys. I've got all that knowledge. I understand all that stuff. And this is my problem when with Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers especially, and I did a video about this. We did a video about this a couple of weeks ago. When Jeremy comes out and he's griping and complaining about the Emperor being a clone, and then he sits there and admits that he doesn't know anything about the expanded universe, well, then don't comment on it. You may not like it. You could say, I don't like that the Emperor's a clone. But to say that it's absolutely impossible and it can't happen, sorry. You're barking up the wrong tree there. If I don't know something, I say I don't know. There's many. Look, there's people who want me to do toy reviews of Spawn, right? And I know people love Spawn. People love Marvel Legends action figures, right? But if you come to my channel, you're going to get only a couple of different kind of reviews probably, unless I pick up something that's like random, right? You're going to get DC toy reviews, because I take all those out of the package, and I love all those. You're going to get Star Wars reviews with stuff that I take out of the package. There you go. That's what you're going to get here on this channel. Unless I score some kind of deal with some kind of toy maker or whatever, and Hasbro wants to send me something, or Mattel wants to send me Marvel Legends, I'm not going to buy Marvel Legends. I understand and appreciate that there are people out there who love Marvel Legends toys. They love Marvel toys. They love all those things, but I'm not a collector of those things. I don't hate on people who are. I just am. But you're not going to see me comment on them like they're good or they're bad or whatever, because I don't know about that stuff. I can only speak to the things that I know about. Same thing with movies that I haven't seen. I'm not going to sit there and do a movie review for a movie I haven't seen. But people do it, don't they? It's crazy. Caleb says, I love Hello Greedo's Last Jedi parody video about Mecha Luke fighting 1,000 clones of the Emperor. Right? I know. It's just great stuff. That's all, and that's it. Is they want certain people wanted Luke Skywalker to just be this amazing, infallible person. And I find that The Last Jedi paints a truer picture of what people become. It's not always going to be the happy ending that you think, but it is, because Luke ends up turning around at the end and realizing what he can do and how he can be bigger than life and be bigger than anything that he could have possibly been before. Right? That's what he does. And, you know, and things like people complaining about that he uses force projection power. I remember when that happened, and people were complaining about that for months, force projection power. Yet he does it in Dark Empire. Now it's the Emperor's a clone. People losing their minds about that. But he did it in Dark Empire. Luke also went to the dark side and became the apprentice of the Emperor. And I'm surprised we haven't heard complaints about that retroly. You know, like that would never happen. People didn't get all butthurt about it in the 90s. We read it and we went, hey, we got some Star Wars for the first time in almost 10 years. Let's read this. Let's enjoy this for what it is, because we don't know when we're ever going to get it again. Now they got so much Star Wars that they feel that they can just complain about it all. That's what it is. So Caleb, you know what? Thank you for bringing up the Tron thing. We're going to do a video about this, me and the family, because the family loves Tron and we want to talk about it. But for those of you who hadn't heard, Disney Plus was actually going to do a Tron TV series. I'm very disappointed. I'm hurt. I don't understand what Disney Plus doesn't get about Tron. I just don't. Tron is a phenomenal story. Tron is a great property. They're building a ride for it right now at Disney World. Well, not right now because it's all shut down. But you know what I'm saying. They're building a ride for it, and yet they keep messing around with this property, and they didn't do Tron 3, and they didn't do, and the reason why they didn't do Tron 3 was because Tomorrowland didn't do well. That's dumb. Two different types of movies, yet they were like, well, we don't think people are ready for this type of movie right now because, you know, Tomorrowland didn't do so well. And I get it that Tron wasn't the huge blockbuster that they wanted it to be, but let's be honest with you. The first one was a real niche thing, right? People didn't understand Tron back in the day. I just loved it because I thought it was cool and I loved the video game. And it is my goal and desire to own a Tron upright video game one day. But, you know, it is what it is. I love light cycles. I love discs. I love all that fun stuff. But there's people who just didn't get it. And so you do a sequel to a movie that was over, you know, was that almost 30 years old. People aren't necessarily going to get it. And that's okay. You know, but you can build it up. And I think that doing a TV show would have been great. Would have been a great way to do that. Okay, last couple here, and then I got to get going. And let us not forget, Luke started out a bit whiny and in over his head, and then it's impossible under the circumstances. He went back to that for a bit. Jedi Master or not, he was still human. Ian, that's exactly it. That's what I've said all along. People act like they forget who Luke was. His dad was whiny and arrogant and angry. Luke was whiny and arrogant and angry. He also learned that when his masters failed, what did they do? They went into hiding. They went and became hermits. Both Yoda and Obi-Wan do that. His dad became a Sith when he failed. What's Luke do? Luke goes and becomes a hermit. He realizes that he's so powerful, he can be used for evil. He's bringing down people. People are dying because of him. He feels like he's responsible. He caused this. Because he had a moment of weakness and even thought about killing Ben Solo, he caused this. He almost gave into the dark side, but he didn't. And so he goes into seclusion. Hold on just a second, guys. Gotta do something here. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Landon keeps calling me, and we got to stop that. All right. I apologize. We're almost done here anyways. But I just wanted to say, but I don't understand why that's so hard to get about Luke Skywalker. Luke is Luke. He is who he is. And make sure I get my camera situated here. Looks like I got my camera all right. So Luke is Luke. And, people fall back in those things. So you look at a 65-year-old man or whatever, how old he was, 60 years old or whatever at that time. People get old and, they go through stuff. And Luke went through stuff. He was bearing the burden of the galaxy on his shoulders. He's not going to be perfect. Caleb says, The Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker fulfills the hero's journey of Luke. Anakin fulfilled his hero's journey in 1 through 6, which was rise, fall, redemption, and Luke's journey was rise, fall, acceptance. I love that, Caleb. I absolutely love that idea. And that is a great way to end this video. Man, what a great observation that was, Caleb. For sure. I love that. Anakin fulfilled his hero's journey in 1 through 6, which was rise, fall, and redemption. And Luke's journey was rise, fall, and acceptance. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Well, hey, guys, it is about time to go. You know what? You guys are awesome. I appreciate you all. I have so much fun with you guys here on the channel and just talking about this stuff. And I'm excited about Ashoka Tano coming to season 2 of The Mandalorian. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. Gordon Hill, you're right. I love Ashoka. So excited. Mike Zero still sucks. That gives me some ideas. I've been so busy, but I've been really wanting to bring Mark Uno back to make some videos. Wink, wink. So this may provide some opportunities. All right. If you haven't seen what Mike Zero's doing lately, it's absolutely so funny. That's a whole other discussion, though. Awesome, Arctic. We love you, man. I always love you guys, and I'm thankful for all of you. You guys make the channel worth having, and worth doing all this. People ask me, why do you guys do that? Why do you guys have a channel and all this stuff? It's like, because you know what? It's fun, and I know you guys now, and because of that, I just love coming and having these conversations and this talk. So thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. And Ray's journey was rise to her potential, run away from her true self, and choosing her family. That's a good point. It's a really, really good point. Thanks, Gordon. I appreciate it, man. You guys are the best, too. You're awesome. So we have a lot to look forward to come this fall. And, of course, we'll be right here live streaming it all and having watch parties with you guys. All right, guys. Until next time, I'm Enosh, and may the Force be with you. Live action Ahsoka. It's going to be sweet. All right, guys. Bye-bye.